Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the space where we look at the everyday problems experienced especially by startup photographers. Today we will be analyzing an image. It's a classic one. It's shot in a minimalist way. We will look at guidance in terms of composition, but mainly in terms of how to analyze how our eyes react to an image. Because if you don't understand that, it will be exceptionally difficult for you to understand what to do with your images. So that will be the value add I will be giving you today. Here's the image we're working with, and as I promised, it's a classic. Because it's a minimalist image, whatever's in the image got to be strong, and it's got to control the whole frame. The first guideline that we're going to use is rule of thirds. What does the basic placement look like? Are your PowerPoints in the rule of thirds being used? And yes, it's absolutely, because it's quite well placed. Secondly, if we look at leading lines, and especially a combination like that, our eyes are being drawn as if pulled by an arrow into a little spot next to the frame there. And immediately we start seeing problems. If the strongest part of the image takes our eyes to the right next to the frame, why is that happening? Is there anything else in the whole frame that says, yeah, but this is why our attention should sit there? And no, it's not. There's nothing else in this frame. So why is the rest of the frame there? So immediately, if we go back to rule of thirds, yes, the most strongest point is on a rule of thirds, but that's not where our eyes end up because of the nature of the strong piece in the frame. So this is a horrible composition. It is just not working. There's got to be a solution. And the solution is that you've got to build the whole frame up in a different way. Can we work it better? And let us see if we can learn something from it. So to resolve the issue, I just flipped the bobs around. So this now gives us an arrow pointing that direction. The focal area where our eyes end up is not pushed against the side of the frame. And when we apply rules of thirds to it now, suddenly the space becomes justified because this space area here is now part of the composition. And suddenly what happens is that we're putting the bobs like an actor on its own stage. So the whole frame now suddenly starts playing a role. But this exposes something else, and no, this is a hugely contentious point, is our redirection. This feels awkward because of the arrow pointing against our reading direction. It is, and it is not something I love to accentuate, but funny enough, in this case, it actually works because I found too many instances on my own work where I look at that principle of reading direction. With other words, we read from left to right, and this arrow now is opposing our reading direction. Now, this is a feel thing. There's no real reason for it, and I know some people swear by it. I don't. But I do listen, and when it feels awkward, and I feel that it's awkward, I rather change it. So this is the image then with the swapped around so that the arrow again points towards our reading direction to the right hand side, and it feels a bit better. The composition still works exactly the same, but that awkwardness is away. Don't take this too seriously. You must always listen and feel. If in doubt, walk away from the image for a while, bring it this side round, walk away, bring it the other way around, walk away, have a look at it from fresh. Only then you'll start to realize how the dynamics of your specific image is working. So now that we know the composition works well, then we'll see that the image is quite bland. Now, the easiest way to see that is by doing a blur on the image. And that will immediately show up this dark spot here, which is the highest contrast in the image. And that once again acts as an eye magnet. Now, to sort of put this into perspective, what is happening here? When we look at the image like that, there we see, when we look at this, we feel. And when your see and your feel doesn't work together, once again, the image doesn't work all that well. If you find this idea of how to use a blur layer intriguing or new or whatever, make sure to hit the like buttons. So in this case, we got to figure out how to put more attention into that spot by modifying the lighting and the mood of light inside the image. To resolve that issue is to darken the background selectively. That is what we had initially, and this is what we have now. So what you recognize is that in this green area here at the bottom, where we had that dark spot, it's much better blended in now. So that part is being solved, and where we had a lack of accent on the main subject area and on the wire itself, we now have that. And we compare that image to this one, we can immediately see how much stronger the subject itself features now in the background. Now, please remember, this is a guideline in terms of how to look at an image and how to understand how we perceive images when we look at them. Once you've learned that, and once you're cognizant of what your eyes do, you will become so much better in terms of photography. Okay, let us recap quickly on what we learned today. The first thing is use tools to analyze your image. Then focus on what your eyes do. Then do not just trust one guideline and rule because it's there. You got to look at what it's doing inside your image. It's more than just lines and measurements. Then, and this is combined with the previous one, be conscious of what you see and what you feel in an image. And the last one is probably the most important one. Guys, keep on clicking and have fun. If the frustration overwhelms you, subscribe to this channel and give me your frustrations through in the comments below so that I can address specifically what you experience, what you struggle with, and I'll help you as far as I can. A great thank you to our sponsors, Artpix Wall Art, who makes outstanding and exclusive wall art pieces for any of your spaces. Have a look at the website. Maybe you like what they do.